Hello and welcome back to Foose Entertainment for my next review. And this would be of an event I'm going to be calling the Dune Chronicles. And what the Dune Chronicles is going to be all about is you're going to be having 8 days, 8 continuous days of Dune, which will take us from the landmark 1980s film all the way throughout 2024's Dune Part 2. So, let's get started with the landmark movie, Dune, from 1984. As you can see, this is the Arrow Video 4K release. The disc is actually still in the player right now. But yeah. This is what we had for a very long time, was this movie right here. All right, well, let's read the plot synopsis on the back. The year is 10,191, and 4 planets are embroiled in a secret plot to wrest control of the spice menage, the most precious substance in the universe and found only on the planet Arrakis. A feud between 2 powerful dynasties, House Atreides and House Harkonnen, a manipulated form afar from ruling powers that conspire to keep their grip on the spice. As the 2 families clash on Arrakis, Duke Leto Atreides and son Paul in this screen finds himself at the center of the intergalactic war in an ancient prophecy that could change the galaxy forever. So I'll probably put that into an easier to understand plot synopsis. A royal family is recruited by a intergalactic empire to mine a space-like psychedelic drug, which allows a human alien subspecies to fold space to allow people to move from one planet to the next without moving. And because of it, it is the most precious substance in the universe. And whoever controls it rules everything. And you have this indigenous species known as the Fremen, who have a prophecy that foretells of a Messiah who will come from another world to the planet Arrakis, Dune, to deliver them from their oppression from dictating ruling houses. And a young boy discovers that he is this Messiah. And he has to lead the indigenous population of the planet in an intergalactic holy war against the great houses in the intergalactic empire. So that's basically the plot. Cluck, line, and sinker, that's the easiest way to kind of describe it. There's a lot more to it because it's a very interesting story. But yeah, very, very good movie, in my opinion. Now, with that said, is it a good adaptation? And for that, I guess I will do this in... this is probably the one book out of the 6 books that will probably be showing more. Now, I will be showing 3 of these books. But here's the first one. This is the book, Dune. It's about 900 pages long. Something like that. And so you can't really put this into this. They even had a 30-minute longer cut of the movie, and it still didn't do it justice. Now there is a adaptation of that book that did, and I will start reviewing that tomorrow. But we're talking about this one today. With that said, although it's not a faithful adaptation to the Frank Herbert novel, I can definitely say that Dune from 1984 is a very, very good indeed movie. The visual effects were way ahead of its time. This film was made way before this time. And this is why a lot of people did not understand this movie back in 1984. It did flop at the box office in 1984, but since then, this has become one of the biggest cult following movies out there. As a big cult following, this film is timeless. And also launched the careers of a lot of actors. Like, for example, the star of Twin Peaks. This was his introduction to the world of David Lynch. David Lynch directed this movie as well, I might add. And yeah, the main star would go on to star in the crime series Twin Peaks. This also had Patrick Stewart playing the role of Captain Jean-Luc Picard in Star Trek Next Generation, as well as the movie sequels, in the very good, in my opinion, the best Star Trek we've had since the movies, which is Star Trek Picard. Long before any of that. And of course him playing Professor Xavier in the X-Men movies. Long before any of that, he was in this. And so many other actors. Well, let's talk about the quality of David Lynch's Dune, which is what I call it. I don't call this Frank Herbert's Dune. I call this David Lynch's Dune because that's basically what this is. This is David Lynch's Dune. This is a director's vision of the Frank Herbert novel, not a direct adaptation of the Frank Herbert novel. Now the next feature, which will take 3 days to review. It's like there's going to be a long event. Now the next feature will take 3 days to review because it's a miniseries, is titled Frank Herbert's Dune, because that's basically what it is Frank Herbert's Dune. This is David Lynch's Dune. So this is a movie, and it's definitely not the most faithful at all to the Frank Herbert novel. But what it is a very, very good science fiction epic adventure that is way beyond its time. And I enjoyed this movie when I was a kid. I would rent it on VHS from the video store over and over and over again. I bought it on DVD when the extended Lecter's cut when I was ripped off all those years ago in my old house. Somebody stole it, which is why I don't have it. And I got on Blu-ray at one point. But this right here is my preferred version of the film. And let's go into the quality so we can talk about why. First, the runtime of the film. This is 137 minutes. So it's quite a long movie. The aspect ratio of the film is 2.35.1 widescreen CinemaScope. You have the option of watching it in its original 2.0 Dolby Surround sound presentation or the new 5.1 DTS HDMA sound presentation. I prefer the 5.1 surround presentation of the movie. The picture. This has been restored from its original camera negative, and this is in 4K, 2160p. And although I do not have Dolby Vision, my HDR10 color rating really shows and really pops out in this movie. We're making really good use of that Dolby Vision. Now, like I said, one day I'll probably get a Dolby Vision compatible 4K screen, and then I can really see what it would look like with Dolby Vision plus HDR10 instead of just HDR10. But the HDR10 definitely does pop a lot with this movie. And I can definitely tell you it is quite a beautiful film to look at from a video perspective. This film, although made 39 years ago, almost 40. So actually, this film is almost 40 years old. This film will be turning 40 years old this year. And this film does not look like it's 40 years old. That's how good the 4K is on this. Now the audio quality. The DTS 5.1 master audio sound presentation. This is not the first time this has been on Blu-ray. This is the first time it's been on 4K. But I can tell you right now, the DTS HDMA sound presentation of the older, Blu-ray release of the film had some flaws, in my opinion. Like, it would have like this loud, like, cracking noise in certain parts of the film. That has not been present on this release. They cleaned that up. This is a solid, really well crafted 5.1 DTS HDMA sound presentation. You will get a lot of work out from your state-of-the-art soundbar or your multi-speaker sound system. This is a theatrical presence for sure. This is definitely a reference quality sound presentation on this film. And on a 4K screen, if you watch it on a 4K screen, you have some pretty good reference quality of the picture on the 4K screen. Now, there's lots of bonus materials on here, but I'm not going to talk about them because we don't talk about the bonus materials on these discs. We talk about the question, is it worth getting this? And what is my opinion of the film? That's what we watch these videos for. So, let's conclude with my overall opinion. It's a great sci-fi movie. It's a great epic adventure and a very good escapism from the primes of reality. It is definitely all those things. This is a great sci-fi film. But it is a really bad adaptation of a novel. But with that said, ultimately in the end, if I want to put a Dune movie on that doesn't kind of just satisfies, I'll more gravitate towards this than the two new films. But with that said, the two new films are absolutely wonderful and epic. So we will get to those eventually. We have a lot to review before we get to those because there's a lot of Dune. People don't realize that, but there is a lot of Dune to review. And those are my thoughts on 1984's David Lynch's Dune. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time for episode 1 of 3 of the Emmy Award-winning miniseries Frank Herbert's Dune, starting tomorrow. Until then, if you haven't seen the 1984 classic in any physical media form, I say check it out, and I'll see you next time.